afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to our budget hearings, and we are here with Office on Aging. And if you'd like to introduce yourself and your team, that would be terrific.
Absolutely. I'm Michelle Missler. I'm the director of the Franklin County Office on Aging. And to my right,
I'm Damika Withers, Assistant Director, Office on Aging.
and to my left.
Hi, I'm Amy Funk, Assistant Director of Administration.
Great.
I'd love to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, President Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner O'Grady, and County Administration. I am Michelle Missler, the Director of the Franklin County Office on Aging, and alongside me today are Damika Withers, Assistant Director of Support Services, and Amy Funk, Assistant Director of Administration for the Office on Aging. We are honored to share with you today the incredible achievements of the Office on Aging from 2019 and what we are looking forward to accomplishing in 2020. During the 2019 year, the Office on Aging experienced tremendous growth and progress towards the goals set forth for the agency. I am extremely proud of the hard work of our staff during this year as they continue to effectively serve a population that grows in both size and need each year. During this year, we're also proud to report our agency's efforts to join the ranks of an agency that is focused on results-based outcomes by hosting our first performance center focused on 10 key performance indicators. This process has increased staff awareness and effort towards performance-based outcomes, and the response has been positively received throughout the entire agency. Throughout this year, it has been my goal to ensure that the Office on Aging is seen as a collaborator and an advocate for those aging in Franklin County. In 2019, as the director of the Office on Aging, I was fortunate to serve as part of the Franklin County Poverty Planning Health Work Group. Our office also supported the efforts of the poverty planning by hosting listening sessions for older adults to gain insight on their experiences living in poverty. In collaboration with Director Daniels from the Franklin County Justice Policy and Programs, we have begun important conversations regarding individuals who are aging with criminal convictions, and were successful in presenting to 2 large audiences on this topic in 2019. In conjunction with Director Brown from Child Support Enforcement and Franklin County Public Health Commissioner Mazzola, we have launched a new cross-county agency Toastmasters group that is offering incredible opportunities for staff to grow in their leadership skills. Our newly deployed strategic outreach work that was launched in 2018 and fully deployed in 2019 has been instrumental in highlighting the unique challenges of older adults in dealing with the opioid and housing crises impacting our community at large. Through this strategic effort, we have been successful in identifying challenges and funding programmatic solutions to address the needs that were acknowledged. As we continue to move through 2019 and into 2020, we are focused on the strategic outreach process in conjunction with our county partners at Adam H. to focus on improving mental health services for older adults. Additionally, our office has been asked to serve as a co-chair for the Senior Citizen Subcommittee for the 2020 census. We have begun great work in developing a strategy to ensure all older adults in Franklin County are counted during this important process. While these incredible collaborative opportunities have helped progress the agency into the next evolution of operational efficiency, we have continued to work diligently to preserve the independence and quality of life for those aging in Franklin County. Our core programs had great achievements in 2019, and we are excited to keep that momentum going in 2020. I would like to turn the presentation over to Assistant Director Funk at this time to share our accomplishments and future goals for our Home and Community-Based Services program.
Thank you, Director Missler. The purpose of the Home and Community-Based Care Program is to provide need-based services to Franklin County older adults and their caregivers so they can preserve their independence and experience and improve quality of life. This program offers a one-stop shop designed to provide information, referrals, and easy access to enrollment for needed home and community-based services for older adults and their families. The Home and Community-Based Services Program is a true safety net of services for individuals who may not have the resources to receive supports or services from alternative state or federal aging programs. While the Senior Options Program connects older adults to a multitude of services to help them age in place, our most significant services include home-delivered meals, transportation, and homemaking. In 2019 thus far, we have provided 589,684 home-delivered meals, 1,509,337 miles of transportation, and 84,274 hours of homemaking services for those over the age of 60 in Franklin County. In addition to home-delivered meals, transportation, and homemaking services, the Senior Options Program also provides connection to and funding for emergency response systems, adult day health, personal care assistance, respite, nutritional supplements, incontinence supplies, and durable medical equipment. In 2019, Office on Aging was successful in collaborating with Franklin County Job and Family Services and Veteran Service Commission to implement the first consolidated transportation contract. The monitoring of these contracted services is supported by our robust quality improvement efforts. To date, we have 108 agencies on contract to support the needs of the Senior Options clients. The FCOA quality improvement staff spends hundreds of hours each year conducting structural reviews, compliance audits, training and coaching agency staff, and technical support visits with businesses providing services on behalf of Senior Options. As a result of the Quality Improvement Department's diligence and oversight, 88% of audited agencies resolved non-compliance findings within a 3-month time frame in the second quarter of this year. The Office on Aging Quality Improvement staff currently monitors contract compliance for the Consolidated County Transportation Contract on behalf of the county. Out of the 108 businesses, 51% of these agencies self-identified on their Small and Emerging Business Enterprise Form as minority-owned, and 12% have reported women as the owner. The magnitude of economic support and development that occurs for these contracted agencies allows for their continued growth and also ensures that our clients receive the very best care possible. This is a real example of how Franklin County is supporting the economic inclusivity of small businesses. In 2020, Office on Aging plans to expand its contracted provider services network. Our agency will be working toward finalizing a contract for interpreter services. This contract will include telephonic and in-person interpretation and translation services and cover languages such as Spanish, American Sign Language, Chinese, Mandarin and Cantonese, Russian, and French, to name a few. In addition, Office on Aging intends to secure a contract with some local nursing facilities and assisted living facilities to provide institutional respite services for caregivers. These short-term respite stays provide family or friends who are providing in-home care some temporary relief for their caregiving responsibilities. As a result of a competitive bid process, Office on Aging works hard to keep costs low for seniors in our community. By combining levy dollars with client co-payments, we can serve more older adults in need of assistance. Senior Option services are available to those at all income and asset levels who have a demonstrated need for service. During the next year, Office on Aging plans to review and possibly adjust its client copay schedule. Each client's share of cost is determined based on an individual's income and assets. By modifying this sliding fee scale, it will allow the agency to serve more low-income seniors in our community by eliminating or reducing co-payments for these clients. Currently, about 49% of clients have a zero-cost share, and approximately 83% of Senior Options clients pay a cost share of 20% or less for their Senior Option services. These large percentages help us recognize that the Senior Options program plays an instrumental role in helping to address the poverty issues in Franklin County. While these are the core services provided by the Senior Options program, I'd like to now turn it over to Assistant Director Withers to talk about some of our GAP services and the exciting work that's happening with our Community Support Outreach and Specialized Services program.
Thank you. The Community Support Outreach and Specialized Services Program funds community-based nonprofit and governmental agencies that deliver specialized services to older adults and their families. Through the Community Support Outreach and Specialized Services, the Office on Aging held our first Big Table event this past August that focused on the mental, behavioral, and emotional needs and challenges that older adults face while aging in place. This event provided an informative platform to begin our strategic outreach process, mental health and older adults, that we began in October. This is our latest strategic outreach process where we identify a current problem facing older adults. We collaborate with community partners and older adults to explore the needs and/or challenges of the problem, as well as collectively identify strategies to address said problem. This project is in partnership with Adam H. Franklin County that began in September and will continue into January 2020. Earlier this year, we completed the Housing Strategic Outreach process and as a result, developed housing grants to address challenges that poverty can create to help toward eviction prevention by providing ways to maintain affordable housing. With continued efforts toward poverty, we also fund low-income memberships to villages. Our agency currently publishes a senior housing directory that provides a geographical listing of senior apartments for individuals 55 years of age and older who can live independently. This past October, we released a revised version that identifies properties by 11 key amenities, ranging from the inclusion of utilities with monthly rent, city transportation accessibility, secured building entrances, and the availability of a service coordinator. This directory is available to the community and professionals via our website and postal mailing. To ensure that accurate and current housing information is readily provided, we are prepared to add properties as they become occupancy ready, in addition to an annual revision of the entire directory. In 2020, we will continue strategic outreach efforts by the creation of Franklin County Office on Aging's first Senior Advisory Committee of volunteer, nonpartisan older adult community members. This committee will meet quarterly beginning January 2020 with our agency to share their knowledge of aging in place, related issues, and concerns of older adults in Franklin County. The committee will be utilized to make recommendations for improvements of older adult programs, analyze available resources, and be influential in ensuring that the Office on Aging programming and activities are meeting the needs of those who are aging in place. The committee will offer an additional resource that will allow the Office on Aging to stay closely connected and engaged with the ongoing needs and concerns of our community of older adults that coincide with our agency's mission, vision, and principles. While external outreach is significant to the services provided to older adults, in 2019, we recognized the significance of community support internally. FCOA began our first series of monthly Lunch and Learn events that provides employees and our grantees a chance to participate in various professional and personal development topics during their lunch hour. We began in July with managing change and transition in the workplace and ended for 2019 with an overview of the Get Connected program with Mental Health America of Franklin County. We will resume the events in 2020 from February to May. I will now direct your attention to Director Missler.
Thank you, Damika. The Customer Service Management Program is in place to provide individualized customer services to older adults and their caregivers so they can access a trained professional to help meet their needs. The Franklin County Office on Aging prides itself on having a dedicated case management staff that is committed to serving the aging population within Franklin County. In 2019, year to date, we have served 9,035 clients through the Senior Options Program. Customer service satisfaction is of immense importance to this program, and in 2019, we received a resounding 43% of our surveys back that indicated a 94% satisfaction rating for this program. In late 2019, we conducted our first performance center, and customer satisfaction was one of the key performance indicators for this program that evaluates our agency's impact on aiding clients' ability to age in place. In the second quarter of 2019, our agency began monitoring how many of our clients moved to a higher level of care, expired on services, and transitioned to state-funded programs. This type of outcome-based performance monitoring will allow our agency to support those aging in place in Franklin County, as well as help us dutifully plan for the future needs of service delivery. In 2020, our agency will undergo the AIRS re-accreditation process for this program and continue to work through the process of identifying a new case management system. A new case management system is a recommendation of the 2016 operational review and will help us to stratify our clients and provide services in a proactive way. It is the goal of the Office on Aging to utilize the social research regarding poverty and premature life expectancy rates as a component of the client stratification process to ensure we are serving people in a timely way. While these services are the core of our service delivery at the Office on Aging, our efforts to keep the public informed of our work is of equal importance. I will turn the presentation over to Assistant Director Funk at this time to highlight the work of our Public Information Program.
Thank you. The purpose of the Public Information Program is to provide information, education, and consultation services to older adults and their caregivers so they can gain knowledge and access to resources and services. In 2019, the Public Information Program reached over 40,000 older adults and caregivers through 83 outreach events. These events included the African American Wellness Walk, the King Center Heritage Music Festival, the Asian Festival, and the Central Ohio Veterans Stand Down, to name a few. The Public Information Program coordinated 3 special events designed to provide entertainment, socialization, and resource information for older adults and their caregivers that reached 3,800 older adults. The Office on Aging Day with the Columbus Clippers attracted a record 1,160 older adult fans who benefited from our special promotion and contributed to the sold-out attendance of 10,000 at Huntington Park. The first annual Flourish Franklin County, created to educate, empower, and engage women aged 60 and over, attracted 175 attendees. The 9th annual Senior Living Festival attracted 2,500 attendees who enjoyed entertainment, resources, health screenings, and Medicare plan comparisons. With a goal of getting more folks linked with our services, older adults were asked on a client survey if they would like to be contacted about the Senior Options Program. As a result, those folks who expressed interest in our program have been contacted by a Senior Options case manager to address any unmet need they may have. 2 social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter, are utilized to inform the public of our agency programs, services, special events, and other information important to older adults. As we look forward to 2020, it is our goal to increase our followers on social media. In addition, the Public Information Program plans to increase efforts in connecting Franklin County older adults with senior options services through a new marketing strategy. The focus of this new marketing strategy will be aimed at getting folks connected to senior option services earlier versus waiting until they are in a crisis situation. Some new and innovative ideas for this marketing strategy include a possible televised phone bank in collaboration with the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, quarterly informational webinars, and the creation of a new agency promotional video. I'd like to now turn the presentation over to Director Missler to talk about the accomplishments and goals of our Safe Housing Program.
The purpose of the Safe Housing Program is to provide minor home modifications and repairs, safety assessments and products, and assistance to eligible Franklin County residents so they can live in their homes free of barriers and unsafe conditions. As older adults continue to age in place, especially in their own homes, it is imperative that they have the support to maintain the safety of those homes. Year to date, the Senior Options Home Repair Program has completed 1,483 minor home repairs, which is inclusive of 7 wheelchair ramps, installed 303 grab bars, exterminated 103 homes for pests, and repaired 61 furnaces. During 2019, the Office on Aging once again co-hosted a home repair forum for programs in Central Ohio to increase collaboration and understanding of the various home repair programs within our community. This event was a success and allows us to further support older adults when their home maintenance needs are out of the scope of senior options. During the Office on Aging's Housing Strategic Outreach, we learned that older adults in Franklin County have additional safe housing needs around handyman services, lawn care services, and snow removal services. It is our goal in 2020 to explore collaborations with other county agency partners and potentially expand the types of services under this program to meet these unmet needs. I will now turn the presentation over to Assistant Director Withers to discuss our efforts around protective interventions for Franklin County.
The purpose of the Protective Interventions Program is to provide advocacy for client rights, investigations, court intervention, and other assistance to abused, neglected, and exploited vulnerable older adults so they can be protected from individuals or environments that endanger their physical or emotional well-being. 2019 proved to be a busy and important year for those serving in adult protective services. From January through October 2019, Franklin County Adult Protective Services has received 2,533 calls to the intake line. Of those calls, 55%, or 1,402, were investigated for allegations of exploitation of an older adult. This number is 18% higher than last year due to the added mandated reporters of clergy, financial institutions, and emergency medical services. Due to the increased number of referrals being received in 2019, it was important to implement departmental improvements based on data. With the assistance of Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, we have been able to analyze caseloads and case management activity data to help with response time and case monitoring, as well as present this data at our first performance center. Thus far, two performance measures have been created and monitored, which are case determinations will be made within 30 days, 90% of the time, and home visits will be completed within 72 hours, 90% of the time. We will continue to build performance standards and process improvements in 2020 to determine how we are protecting Franklin County's most vulnerable older adults. In 2019, Adult Protective Services increased educational support and Franklin County community awareness. The APS Speakers Bureau focused its presentation efforts with financial institutions and emergency medical services due to the mandated reporting law changes. In addition to strategic outreach, APS has spent 2019 to continue to build collaborative relationships with agencies such as Guardianship Service Board, NetCare, the Ohio Attorney Elder Justice Unit, OSU Medical Center, Mental Health America of Franklin County, law enforcement, and Columbus Fire. In 2020, we look forward to these continued collaborations, as well with agencies focused on kinship efforts due to the opioid crisis. We also realize the importance of these relationships with a focus on safety and service as we look forward to 2020. The APS safety policy was updated in 2019, and in 2020 will add the use of GPS emergency response service for staff. On behalf of the staff at the Franklin County Office on Aging, we would like to thank you for the opportunity to serve the older adults of Franklin County through the Office on Aging. As you heard through the presentation today, we are beyond proud of the accomplishments we have achieved during the 2019 year, and we're excited to watch the continued growth during the upcoming year. At this time, we would love to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Commissioner O'Grady, have any?
No.
Okay. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes, thank you, President Brown, and to Director Missler, and to both your deputy directors that are with you. Thank you for your presentation. So, if I'm reading my budget documents correct, it says that your projected budget for 2019 was just a little over $41.2 million. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. So the current projection that's recommended for your 2020 allocation is $46.8 million. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That's correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So can you talk about the $5 million, what that's going to the increase, and specifically where that is being increased, or what's going on where it's being increased?
Yes, the majority of that increase is projected to be in what we call board and care, which is our core services that we provide through transportation, home-delivered meals, respite, homemaking services. We are projecting with new marketing strategies and other ways to bring in new clients and get the word out through our outreach efforts to bring more clients in.
So, Madam President, so those boarding services are a $4 million increase for last year to this year?
We are projecting that we will hopefully serve more folks and with our core services, yes.
And you actually requested more. You requested a little less than $1 million more. I don't know. I guess I'm stuck on, is that how we normally do this, Administrator, in terms of when we're projecting a increase? And is it what you hope to serve, or is it based on the increase in population? Is it based on what you know, obviously baby boomers are becoming aging seniors, and so that it should just go up if you're just basing it on that? Is that what this is? Is it part of that, or is it something else I'm missing?
President Brown, Commissioner O'Grady, Commissioner Boyce, if there's times where you would see an increase like this, if with levy agencies you're monitoring your balances and you sort of open enrollment up and you aggressively market particular services, and you know based upon the demographic data that the need is there. So you open it up and allow that additional agency capacity to be able to provide those services.
I see. Okay.
So it's a available resources in providing capacity to provide those services, because you with a levy agency, you're looking at how much cash you need to have reserved to make it until that next levy starts. So as you get more flexibility as you grow into a levy.
That makes sense. And when you're talking about, you know, probably one of the most vulnerable segments of our population, I mean, I definitely think it makes sense to be prepared to accommodate whatever that growth is and be strategic about it. I just wanted to make sure I understood where the growth was and why we're allocating so much resources. So that's helpful.
This is like the Veteran Service Commission, we're always promoting, trying to do more, serve more, spend more.
Absolutely.
Because we want to serve as many folks in this population as we possibly can.
Yeah. We are, super focused the last 18 months or so too, thinking about, being the payer of last resort, making sure that we preserve the levy the best that we can. So making a strategic effort to look at the folks that we're serving, and if they're Medicaid eligible, making sure that Medicaid managed care is paying for those individuals, seeing an increase in the individuals that are on My Care and different initiatives like that. So that's part of the public information outreach plan, is that we need to really think about who we're serving and how we expand that scope to pull in folks that maybe we haven't before. Events that we had this past year, talking to older adults myself, they say, oh, you were great when my mother was aging, or you were great, they're 80 themselves. And my conversation with them is that we can serve you today as well. There are services like an emergency response system that we should have people on proactively, so that when something does happen that's more crisis, that they're already in the fold of our services. And so thinking about moving into 2020, how do we change that terminology, that message for older adults to understand that the moment you turn 60, you should call and learn about our services and understand how you can get connected, so that way you're already in the service delivery scope when, God forbid, something worse happens.
Thank you.
Michelle, and to the rest of the team, I had a question about the adult protective service arena. And you talk about the changes in mandated reporting and the relationship beginning to continue to grow with the Guardianship Services Board. What does that all mean for our customers? Is there a relationship with the Guardianship Services Board and probate court that's working? Do we need to do some things to strengthen that? Would it be helpful to have a better relationship? And what are the changes with the mandated reporting?
Yeah. I'll start, and then I'm gonna hand it over to Damika as well, because
Sure.
she's really led a lot of this work this year. But we have been very strategic this year in trying to grow in that relationship with Probate Court and the Guardianship Services Board. You know, the work of Adult Protective Services is about preserving the human rights.
Absolutely.
And so there's often a delicate balance that needs to happen when someone is referred to our office with concerns and needs of what the community may feel like is guardianship need. Our role is to come in and investigate that. And when we do find someone who is incapacitated and would need that level of guardianship, it is, you know, important that we work very swiftly and quickly with the Guardianship Services Board and the Probate Court to get that guardianship granted as quickly as we can to protect that individual. And it's been really, really positive this year how much the conversations and the meetings and education through Probate Court, the Prosecuting Attorney's Office, and Guardianship Services Board, conversations that never really happened to this level before, to see how we can all work more efficiently together. And it's been successful, ensuring that it's our office and our duty through Adult Protective Services to call up that guardianship when it is necessary. We are the only ones in the county who can.
Correct.
And so it's very important that our staff understand that, and Damika's done a fantastic job bringing staff along in a way that is educational and supportive. So I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add, but.
Certainly, thank you. What we have done, we've met with the Guardianship Service Board, we've met with Probate Court, we actually have a meeting with them on Friday. So in January, I can't remember the exact date, but we are hosting a Guardianship Service Board training with our staff. We have streamlined some processes through the assessment application of a referral process, and we're bringing the Probate Court on as well to be able to, so they're aware of what that streamlined process is. Going over the assessment paperwork was needed on an assessment paperwork so that process can work quicker in some areas, especially when you come in the exploitation of financial institutions, to be able to freeze services quicker, to help our vulnerable older adults, because those programs haven't existed before. So we were able to come to the table this summer, and we're working very closely for staff to do a meet and greet and continue training on what assessments and referrals look like.
Thank
So-
you.
You're welcome.
So Damika or Michelle or whoever, you know, while we're talking about protective services and interventions, for whoever may be watching on television, what is the contact information? Phone number, website, email address, whatever it might be. If somebody's suspicious of somebody committing fraud against a senior, somebody committing violence against a senior, somebody in any way, shape, or form taking advantage of one of our senior population, how can they, who do they reach out to? How do they reach out to them? What's the information?
We 614-525-6200 line. They can also do an online service after hours, and that if you call after hours, it goes to our hotline phone, which someone will receive that message and be able to call back. And so when you're calling during the day, so you talk to a live person to actually do a referral as well.
614-525-6200.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, the work that you do is so very important, and we really appreciate all that you've added to the cadre of service for our senior population. It's been gratifying to see our seniors are getting tremendous care, and they're getting the supports that they need. And I'm glad we're able to look at what we're able to do in that context of the growth of our senior population.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you.
If I may.
Yes.
Just wanted to congratulate Director Missler, especially in your leadership for the past year. I believe you may have celebrated the anniversary maybe here recently or coming up, but it's been a short time, and you've provided increasing our presence in the community, which has been very well received by the aging providers as well as the constituency. So thank you for that. It's so important. I think it's time to leave it.
There you go.
There we go. Thank you, sir. I was just congratulating Michelle, Director Missler, and her team on her leadership. As a new director, it is often a heavy lift to bring about the evolution and the innovation that you have been able to bring to the table and to the agency. I was congratulating you on your increased community presence, which with our growing population of seniors calls for a different approach to the way that we are serving them. And you've taken that on very enthusiastically. And so I just wanted to thank you and congratulate you on your leadership and the entire team over at the Franklin County Office on Aging. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Have a great rest of your day.